Hey guys, welcome back to Kuma Reviews. We're taking a look at the big one, a big grail of mine. Yeah, even haven't had it for a while. I can't help but to look at it and just kind of be in awe. This is the Hot Toys Movie Masterpiece Series, or MMS, 285 Hulkbuster. So there are two Hulkbusters that were in the MCU. This one is the original one from the Age of Ultron movie. Has more of that comic styling to it. And let's take a look at the height. It's said to be 22 inches. I'm actually, from my vantage point, getting a little closer to 23. And you can see it dwarfs this Mark 43, which is 12 and a half inches on its own. Yeah, absolutely huge. So, what you see is what you get for the most part. But when it comes to the accessories, there are some. Alright, so you see right to the left, black sleeve. One is already on the leg. I'll show you guys how to put the other one on the, well, one's on the right leg. I'll show you how to put that one on the left leg, as well as those metallic pieces there, or accessory parts that go inside of the Hulkbuster when you're actually mounting either the 43 or this torso option in case you don't have a 43. Those are the gauntlets for the forearm, and behind it you have a battle damage chest piece, which I'm not really the biggest fan of, as well as an additional chest piece for either the 43 or the torso. Now when it comes to that torso, since I have a 43, we're just going to forego that, because the only difference is you put a whole body in instead of half of a body. But all of these additional metal pieces, they go on either one just the same, so don't feel like you're missing out on anything. So I want to go ahead and get that sleeve on the left leg of the Mark 43, in part just to get this thing out of the way. So the way I've learned to do it best is just going ahead and bunching all of it up. And as you bunch it up, there's more to pull up. So bunching. Alright. And just be careful, because he does have like that flap in the front and in the back, so just making sure you're working around that well enough. And the nice part is, when you bunch it all up, you've got that much more to pull around, you know, those flaps and things like that to make room. So there we go. And even though they're a little bit of a hassle to get on, they're definitely necessary, because you don't want to risk, once you've got this guy inside, chipping, scratching, anything like that. So alright. And I kind of pulled it over itself, so fold this over. And that's about the gist of it right there. Alright, and right now, just really quick, going to give you guys a roundabout of it. You can go over some of the basics of the articulation to it. Okay. And you know, since we've got it at the back side, I'll go ahead and turn on these lights, which will leave on for for the rest of the review. I'm going to use a spudger here. This is not even tabbed in, this part. It's held on by magnets, but they're really strong. Alright, so that panel comes off. You've got those lights. And then each of these calf pieces here, calf armor, come off. You've got those switches. Now, the seller for mine, he was nice enough to leave the batteries installed. This one says like LR44, 3 of them. So off the top of my head, I don't know exactly what batteries each one takes. This also says LR44, 3 of them. So, you know, it's easy enough to see if you buy it. And on the written review, I'll definitely have a breakdown in the info section, like normal. And you see, it does have some amp crunch there, but big light under there, lights under the knees, as well as these. You saw the lights on the back when I had it turned around. Now there are 2 panels here on the hands as well. And if it seems like the head sinks in fairly easily, it's not necessarily easy, but it does sink in because one of those armor pieces or like interior pieces is a neck that helps hold this up as well. So, yeah. Okay, get that panel back on. Oh. And I can tell you guys, even without long nails, I have been able to get these panels out just with my fingertips. They're so big that it makes them easily accessible by default. But for the sake of review and doing things the right way, just showing you that. So, okay, he's all lit up now. Let's go ahead and turn off some lights, show you how he looks. Pretty cool stuff. And we'll also get these gauntlets attached. Make sure I'm doing the right side. Okay. That's one. Turn it more towards me. Make sure. Try to go around the camera as much as I can. And sorry if my hands do get in the way, but this is a big item. So I do have to stand away from the camera and kind of be a little bit more hands-on than normal. Alright. There's a gauntlet. Now, in the movie, it briefly transformed, but since these are hot toys, they are incredibly detailed and all that stuff, and they included said transformation. So that part goes back like so. We'll actually move the wrist down. These 2 pieces come out. This little shield piece here, it extends and goes forward, right? And all of this goes up and down to make way for his arms, but there are lights under there too. This comes up. This also comes up, and be careful with that because there is like a clip there. But there's a transformed version of that. Give you guys a different angle of it. And we'll utilize these in some of the later poses and things like that, but just want you to see how it transforms first. Okay, so give you guys a layout of what we're going to do with the rest of this review. Going to go ahead and go over the articulation points of this piece. Then we'll go ahead and get the Mark 43 inside of them. And from there, I'll show you guys a couple of poses with them and get you on your way. Now, first off, starting with the headpiece, this can go up and down. Now it's naturally going to be a little bit higher because there's a neck piece that you guys will see when I put the Mark 43 inside, but it can go side to side. This piece by itself can go up. If you open up the whole thing, and you're going to need this to get the Mark 43 inside, the whole thing can go up. Kind of have an open mouth. And this piece has a hinge on it, and it can go up some, and you can have an open mouth look. Put that back down. Boom. And I just want to take a second and zoom in on the head. So you guys can see just how detailed it is. Lots of fine lining that, I guess, standard kind of battle damage throughout. It's good stuff. It looks great. I very much so just enjoy the heck out of this thing. I am a big, huge, mega fan. Love it. Alright, so getting back to the articulation here. The shoulders, even though it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with articulation, these pieces do come down. A little bit of transformation there. Move that back. The shoulders themselves do move out. Okay. And it does have full 360 ratchets. I'm not going to do it just to save time. Now there is bicep swivel. It's right here at this gold piece. A lot of this bracelet with two hands. This is very tight, which is good because these arms are very heavy. Alright, so do that a little bit more. Elbows. Got about 90 degrees there, no double jointed elbows or anything crazy. This elbow piece does move a bit to make way. What's really cool is that those shoulder gauntlets I was showing you, I'll actually zoom in. Now we'll go over the arms and wrist. These can go up and down if you didn't notice previously. Now the wrist, they not only have the 360 swivel, but for like the repulsor blast and whatnot, they can go up. They can also go down. Really cool stuff. The fingers are articulated too, 3 points of articulation on each one. The thumb can swivel, the fingers cannot. But it's really cool, and you see the light inside of there too. Okay. Now, there's not a lot in the waist. There's obviously not going to be waist articulation with the Mark 43 having to go inside, but the cool part is that at least the upper part of the waist has some side-to-side swivel. And use two hands for this because it is pretty heavy. These two gold pieces right here, they'll catch and kind of let you know, hey, this is too far. It also does have some up and down ab crunch, which is cool. Zoom in a bit further out. Now, it says in the instructions, but I'm going to tell you here too, there is no swivel in the hips, no swivel in the ankles either. So just be aware of that. Now, I'm actually going to take it off of this. This does have a couple of clicks, and there's movement here, as well as, get this out of the way, this back piece too. Nothing on the back skirt, so see there, got that moved some. Boom, that's forward. Then there are a couple of clicks backwards, and again, all right. Now looking at the knee, I think that might be all the way forward. Yep. Jeez. Alright, so the knees on this guy are kind of a pain in the butt. I don't really know how to, because when I move it myself, I have to kind of brace it and put it up against my body. Oof. That actually kind of hurt my hand to do. But yeah, okay. That's 1, 2, 3. So I'm counting 3 clicks there, and that's what we're going to go with. Okay? So we can at least have them standing straight up. Now there is tilt and movement and all of that good stuff. This even moves out of the way. And there's a spring in there too. pretty cool, as well as these stoppers on the feet, in case you want to balance them like that, which I don't really personally trust. But the instructions, I really encourage you guys to look at them. They give you a full breakdown on exactly how this thing moves. Give you one more look at them without anything inside. And let's get a 43 in there. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get the 43 inside. You can kind of wiggle it a bit loose, but then these two pieces come up, and these can move out of the way. They're actually double hinged. Alright. Get this out of the way, as well as this. Now, there's a piece that can occasionally flip down on you, but that's for this part to peg into. Got those out of the way. We're going to move this piece in the back up, as well as the head. Now that piece there is annoying. It's actually a battery cover for... I'm so glad I was able to reach that. Jeez. It's a cover for this piece right here, because that's where the battery goes in and things like that. So you slide it into... Of course I can't while I'm on video. You slide it in here, and for the most part, admittedly, it stays pretty well. And we actually have to take this whole thing out anyway. I'll show you how to put it back in, obviously. But that's where that piece goes. I like how this thing is kind of telling me to get it out of the way. Alright, so two magnetized pieces here on the shoulders. Get these things up, out of the way. This is out of the way as possible. Okay. So you've got this big hollow void. And we've got a Mark 43 who needs a ride to the store. Okay. I'm just making sure I've got my leg sleeves on. And this is the position you want them in. Make sure it's focused. 1, 2. Now, I can't show you inside just because I don't know how I would even get the camera up and all that stuff. But you kind of got to be careful. Find your way in. Because there's a split in there. Make sure that everything's fitting good. Boom. Alright, we're money. Okay, we got Iron Man inside. He's ready to get all fitted and be good to go. So what we're doing now, we're taking off his chest piece, and then pegging in this replacement one. Pegs into the same spots. Now, I think that this was put in more so for like scratching and stuff like that. Because from there, you gotta put in this piece right there. And then, if I am correct, let's figure out how to do that. Do that. And then this piece pegs in and magnetizes. Now, this piece just came off. It's not that hard to get back on, it's just a ball joint. But the problem is that it gets kind of hard at times to peg that in exact. And I just did, so I'm going to count my blessings there. Alright, so we got all that. And from there, this is that neck piece I was talking about. Now, was this supposed to go on before? My bad. It was supposed to go on before. So there's the neck. Alright. It's hard to see, but behind this piece, there are two ball joints. And that's where these two ball joints go. Unfortunately, you have to... Well, I think this piece is actually... There we go. That's where it was supposed to go. So ball joint, and then this peg's in pretty straight. Yeah. We'll go ahead and just take the head off. And I wish this installed a little bit more clean, but it's one of those what it is kind of things. I remember the first time I did this, it wasn't that bad. Boom. I felt that. And I can tell that this side is not straight, so open it straight enough and boom. Alright? And from there, just pop the head back on. So there's that. And from there, bring these two pieces down. This piece up, that piece up, and kind of get them under those hooks there too. Then we can get those shoulder pieces back on. If I can remember where they went. 1, 2. Make sure everything's straight. And then this head. Make sure I'm doing this correctly. There we go. Boom. Back piece on. And boom. So not too crazy. Not too crazy at all. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some poses with this guy and get you guys out of here. Alright. And this one, kind of a run-in repulsor blaster deal. Let me see if I can make that look a little bit better. Yeah. I dig it. Really good balance on this figure. I mean, it better for being so damn heavy. But yeah, I dig it. Alright guys, in closing this out, I have him in the display pose that I have pretty much permanently or whatever. I kind of like the thought of him half hanging out of the Hulkbuster armor, and honestly, I really like the way that it looks all opened up, even more so than it does you know, when it's all enclosed and Hulkbustery and stuff like that. It's just really cool. It's techie looking. I dig it a lot. So, giving you guys an up and down, up to down. Focus here. And everything balances incredibly well, mostly because of the weight of the Hulkbuster itself. And you can see, I mean, it's huge. For a 12.5-inch figure like the Iron Man Mark 43, to pretty much look like an SH figure art or something like that inside of it, it says a lot. But anyway, this has been another Kuma Style review. This is the Hot Toys Movie Masterpiece MMS Movie Masterpiece Series 285 Hulkbuster. This is the 1.0 Hulkbuster from Age of Ultron. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and please check out the full breakdown article and gallery on kumastyle.com. Link will be in the description, and see you next time.